Hello and welcome to another video where I talk about a piece of music kit. This video and the next one is subtitled Ricky Made Me Do It because they both feature effects processors that I was persuaded to buy by watching videos by Ricky Tinez, who has a fantastic YouTube channel on which he talks about music gear, does reviews, shows some of his setups and his working techniques, and he does all of it with great enthusiasm and expertise and really communicates the joy of working with certain pieces of equipment. Anyway, he managed to talk so persuasively about two very, very nice effects processors. I ended up buying them on the strength of his videos. And the first of these is the Meris Ottobit Junior. Meris are known for their very high-end effects pedals, and this is part of the series. Marketing is a very strange thing, so they promoted this literally by saying plug your guitar in and get 80s arcade effects, which is something it can do, but it makes it sound a bit like a kind of novelty pedal or a sort of weirdo category pedal. And in fact, it's a very high-end piece of kit with very broad applications, and extremely musical and high-quality audio processing. So what do we have here? We have a bit crusher and a sample rate reduction. We have a filter, which goes after the sample rate reduction and the bit crushing. We have a stutter effect, which you can use to get these sort of max headroom, crazy chopped up rhythms, and a sequencer which will give you 6 steps of transposition of your material, played at various different speeds and with various numbers of iterations. The stutter gives us our first clue. Oh, I should add that the sequencer will also give you stages on the filter and stages on the sample rate reduction. But the stutter gives us our first clue as to what makes this pedal so special. The stutter has some kind of envelope follower, something that reacts to the signal you're sending in, both in terms of the intensity of the music or the speed or the type of program. So it reacts very differently, for instance, to a drum pattern than it does to a sustained sound. This means that it has really quite subtle applications and very, very musical ones. And this leads us to the heart of the machine. So the sample rate reduction sounds incredible. It goes from quite subtle effects to total destruction. The filter is one of the best sounding filters I've ever heard. It's just a simple filter sweep control, but it appears to have, or sounds anyway, like it has some sort of notch quite high up, around 13,000 hertz. So you can get to a really strong character up there while rolling off the harshest top frequencies, which used in conjunction with the bit crusher and sample rate can have very musical effects. Very, very nice sounding filter. But the truly special thing is the bit crusher. It is by far the best bit crusher I've ever heard. And like the stutter effect, it responds to the kind of material you send through it in a really interesting, very musical way. It also appears to have some kind of envelope follower idea. It seems to engage and disengage following some kind of quite musical envelope slopes. So bit crushers are very often rather square, rather chunky, and deliberately so. Or they keep on bit crushing even the silence and leave a kind of little digital buzz. This doesn't do that. It engages and disengages with whatever you're playing through. very sensitively, and like the stutter, reacts very differently depending on the signal. So sustained sounds, very loud sounds, very soft sounds, very rhythmical sounds, all have different effects. It almost works like a kind of reverb. So you get these little tails at the end of sounds, which are very, very attractive. And one of the effects it has is making especially percussive sounds, so drum machines and so on, sound like the great early MPCs or the other sampling drum machines. So with these sort of short samples that could be melodic or harmonic or percussive, they have a kind of very nice, attractive, warm grittiness to them. And it's fantastic to have a pedal that will do that to pretty much anything. So yeah, thanks again to Enrico Martinez for persuading me to buy this, so to speak, with his video. Like I say, I've left a link to his video about the Ottobit, which I can recommend to anyone. So thank you very much for listening to my thoughts about the Ottobit Junior from Maris. Bye-bye.